Before Andrew Thompson was old enough to drink, he earned about $2 million building a MySpace site.
I was a high authority. Google loved me. I was first place for the most competitive term in the industry.
I don't know how the hell Andrew did $1 million his first year in business. Props to him, because I don't know how the hell he did it. I can't figure it out.
I would love to show you guys and talk to you guys about the deep rabbit hole I went down on ChatGPT the other day. But I asked it to tell me the top 3 junk removal companies. What do you think they are, Andy? 1-800-GOT-JUNK, Junk King, and Jedi Junk. Andrew Thompson came up as number 3 out of the whole internet. Obviously, the man's doing a lot right on the internet side of things.
Just so you know, too, I've been checking out Autopilot. That shit right there is off the hook. That's going to be a game changer in the junk removal industry.
Andrew's a genius. This is going to go crazy.
No BS, Mr. Matt Vick, Sonoma Strong Hauling, and the JoJo. We back that shit up 100%.
Okay, guys. So, normally somebody else would hype me up, so I have 2 hypes, one for Matt, thank you, and then a personal hype reel. You guys don't know, my name's Andrew. Here's me, 2017, I was an engineer. I was building an app, a travel app, a fitness app, and that's what I was doing prior to this. 2021, I started picking up junk. Actually, what happened was COVID came along, and then it screwed up everything. Couldn't do my travel app anymore. Anyways, my friend told me about junk removal. He's like, you guys, you can make $1,000 a day. And I needed money. My lady and I, we had a second kid coming. Didn't want to get a programming job because I was already worn out from programming, and I was like super depressed because my app just was screwed from COVID. So my friend was like, you can make $1,000 a day. What do? I go to YouTube, search it up. I see Matt and JoJo, and I start binging their videos. Matt and JoJo videos, $1,000 a day, $2,000 a day, and I was like, oh my God, if I just do this, I can do $1,000. I'm just willing to put my ego to the side and go pick up junk. So that's what I did. And then within the first 14, I say a year for clickbait, guys, but it was within the first 14 months, I hit $1 million. $1,059,000 in the first year, all from Google Ads. And that's because I have a tech background. We're going to get into it in a bit. So that's my story. That's all the time I have to talk about my story because we have a bunch of slides to go through. So yeah, so why listen to me, guys? Here's my Google Ad spend for 2022. I spent $236,000 on Google Ads in 2022 and $250,000 in 2023, and I brought in $2.2 million from Google Ads alone. So I like to come with evidence because I it's a strong word. When gurus say they claim something, I don't want to be a guru who just claims something. I want to come with a little bit of evidence so it makes me feel better to show you guys like, hey, I walk the walk. So here's Clover. This doesn't include wire transfers. This doesn't include checks. I had a $115,000 job as well. This is 2022. Here's 2023. Both years I cleared $1 million. So I thought, hey, let's show a little more evidence. June 2023, Jedi Junk Removal, $169,000 in deposits. You can start seeing all the bank card deposits every day, every single day, $2,900, $8,200, $4,100, $2,300. So I was killing it. Now, step further, here's my tax returns. Actually, as you can see, it's in my girl's name. It's not my name for reasons you'll see soon. Christina, honey, thank you, $1,059,000. And of course, I sold the company for $225,000 at the end of the year. I made $250,000, then we sold the company for $225,000. And what we're going to talk about today is how I could have gotten $600,000 instead of $200,000. So today's topic, okay, we're going to be talking about a lot of financial stuff, tax stuff, and selling the business. I'm not allowed to legally give you advice. So I have to, every YouTuber says I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a tax attorney, or a business broker. How to make your business a sellable asset. Everybody excited? Yeah. Okay, so I learned a lot selling my company. I sold 4 companies in my entire life. This is the 4th one, the last one I sold for $225,000. Took 6 months, and I learned a lot. First question most people ask is why would you want to make it sellable? Some people you might say, I don't ever want to sell my business, I'm going to stay in junk forever. That's fine, you might want to. But if you make your business more valuable to somebody else, it's going to be more valuable to you. If you make it more valuable, it's going to be easier to run. If it's easier to run, it's going to be easier for you to run. So at the end of the day, all these things that I go through is only going to help you no matter what, even if you don't want to sell it. But maybe 20 years down the road, so something happens. You want to change your heart. Maybe you want to retire. Maybe you want to build software. Either way, all these things will help you increase the value of your business, because I kid you not, I could have sold it for $450,000 if I just did a couple more things different, and I could have sold it for $600,000, $600,000 to $700,000 if I just waited a few months. We're going to get into that. So, the good old question, guys, what could you realistically sell your company for? That's the question. And there's a lot of variables that go into this, but at the end of the day, you can sell for 1 to 5x EBITDA. Who knows what EBITDA is? Does anybody know what EBITDA is? So, you can average 2x, but if you go through everything I'm about to go through, you can hit 3 to 5x. So EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Now, we're going to break down EBITDA just so you guys understand EBITDA, and just so you guys also know, EBITDA is a made-up word, a made-up acronym by investors. It's not part of the GAA, generally accepted accounting protocol, right? It's not in the official guide. It's not, but investors and buyers of private equity firms wanted something to tell them how is the business running. Because at brass tacks, we're going to get down to, they want to know how the business is running before interest, taxes, depreciation, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to explain why. So, EBITDA tells buyers, how is this business running outside of financing structure, interest, taxes, and depreciation, amortization. So, they exclude interest you're earning on cash sitting in the bank. They exclude interest that you are paying on giant loans, because they want to know how the business is operating, not the bad decisions you make, bad or good. Geography, tax structure. Investors can come in and fix the taxes. They can save more money. They know what they're doing, so they take out taxes. Same with past investments. They don't want to know all the bad mistakes that you made. They just want to know fundamentally, how is the business running? So EBITDA strips out all the financing decisions, all the taxes, all of the interest you're paying, all of the past investments that you made, and it gives them a better picture of how your business is running. Because if you look at the core of the business and how it's operating, but you made a few bad mistakes, or you suck at your taxes, make sense? So, how to calculate it. This is a very, very simple example. Take your gross revenue, subtract your COGS, you have gross profit, take your gross profit, subtract your operating expenses, OPEX, you have operating income. Now, to get your true EBITDA, you would add back on depreciation and amortization, but we don't, I talked for 30 minutes about EBITDA, we're gonna skip that. Basically, your operating income for you guys, it's gonna be, I made $1 million, profit was 200, including your salary. So your salary does go into the EBITDA. In this example, for us smaller home service businesses, under $5 million, you include your salary. So, it doesn't matter if you W-2 yourself or you're doing owner's draw. There's a lot I'm going to talk about owner's draw versus W-2, especially if you guys are S-Corps or LLCs. How many of you guys are doing owner's draw? You transfer money back and forth willy-nilly, just between accounts. I need $100, and you transfer it over. Try to stop doing that. Try to owner's draw properly with documentation if you want to have good paperwork. So anyways, that is how you get the valuation of your business. So in my example, I could have sold, if my gross profit, the 1 million, was about $250,000 profit, including my salary, I sold for about 1x, 225. I could have gotten 3x. If I was in business for 5+ years, you're getting closer to the 4 or 5x, as long as you check all the boxes we're about to go for. So, do you guys understand how much you could sell for now, kind of? Does it make sense? So, you guys ready to know how to increase the value of your business? So some of this is going to be boring, some of it's going to be exciting. I think it's exciting, so let's get this party started. Brand, we know brand. The better the brand, investors are going to be like, oh, junk removal. Although a lot of the investors were like, dude, are you going to get sued? That was a big scare one for a lot of people. It's like, why is it Disney sued you? I'm like, because they don't freaking know I exist. But that is a valid thing, right? But brand is very powerful. I'm not going to talk about this because other people are. The books. Okay, guys. I am guilty of this too. All right, so let's talk about bookkeeping. The first thing they wanted when I sold my company was P&L statements. Who knows the three most important financial statements? Who knows what they are? Income statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet. Income statement is the most important, also known as a profit and loss. You can do monthly P&Ls, but you can't sell your company if you don't have a P&L, period. Well, you can find a cash buyer, but if a sophisticated buyer comes along, you're gonna need to have these things. P&Ls and balance sheets. Cash flow, they didn't ask for that, just a balance sheet. Clean books. If you have multiple accounts, and you have a personal account, and you have a personal credit card, you're commingling, you're spending money, you're transferring money, and you got Venmo over here, Cash App over here. I know we're all trying to hide a little bit of money, but at the end of the day, what you put on your taxes is what you're gonna get. So, and this only helps you in the future, guys. I know you're trying to hide 50 grand to save 10 grand in taxes, but you can sell for 5x multiple 10 years from now. If you're hiding that 50K, you're gonna get way less. So, clean books, clean bank statements, all the money needs to go into one bank so they can track your transactions and the buyer can match it all up. Commingling funds, it's not illegal, it sounds scary, it just makes your books super fucking messy. And it's really hard to do like bookkeeping and bring your books up to date when you just have transactions going everywhere. So really try to have one good business card, one gas card, one bank statement, and be consistent. Everybody knows QuickBooks or FreshBooks, just stay on top of it. Hiding cash. If there's any honest agents in here, this is all fictional. So we've all maybe hid some cash. Quote, not serious though. If there's any agents, this is a joke. But Bench.co, guys, I use Bench.co. They're $300 a month. I don't make any money from this, but they do all of your P&L statements. So if you're making good money and you're doing good, look into Bench.co. They do everything for you. It's incredible. They'll even do your tax returns at the end of the year, and it's awesome. So bookkeeping, guys. You're not going to be able to get good valuation on your business if you don't have clean books. Legal. I'm not going to talk too much about legal. The only one I do want to talk about is classifying W-2 versus 1099. So this was a problem. One of my employees broke their leg. We owed $37,000. Long story short, because we misclassified him, and he came after us. Long story short, we didn't have to pay the $37,000, but you can get in serious trouble if something happens. You're misclassifying. And at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to try to get SBA loans to buy your business. And SBA is going to look into it, and they're going to find out, hey, are the employees or contractors, if you're misclassifying, it is going to be harder to sell your business if you're not paying workers' comp and payroll taxes. Payroll taxes, it sucks, but try to classify your employees properly as soon as you can, okay? Taxes. I hesitated on showing this next one, but I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm a changed man. Seriously. Who thinks this is scary? I want you guys to look at the second line. What does it say? Criminal investigation. 12 years ago, I was under criminal investigation because when I was a young kid and I made those $2 million from MySpace, I decided to pull out cash and show off with it. So I was buying cars, pulling out cash, doing the whole thing. And I was under a criminal investigation for about 6 months of my life, and it was just like the movies. Showed up, like Men in Black, black suit, black SUV, handed me a summons letter. Scariest day of my life. I had something stuck in my throat, I'm not crying. Hey, will you give me some water, please? So anyways, nothing happened, guys. I didn't do anything wrong, I was just a dumb kid. What I'm trying to prove here is I have been through a lot when it comes to taxes. I know what you can get away with. You can get away with a lot. And I know what you can't get away with. If you're doing under $1 million, it's 0.00001% chance you'll ever be audited. If you're found doing something wrong, you'll just get fined. If you're caught hiding, evading, you will get in serious trouble. You won't go to jail for like hiding 50 grand. Trust me, you won't. Not saying do it, guys, but point is, guys, taxes. Stay on top of your taxes. Bookkeeping is the most important thing, then taxes. So, file every year, and for everybody who's known out there, they're playing the deduction game and doing a Section 179 at the end of the year because you think you're smart, you're just going to blow your money on some equipment. You look broke on paper. Stop buying equipment if you don't need it. Just show the tax man how much money you make, because then your business will be so valuable 10 years from now. So valuable. If you stop playing the deduction game. Elect as an S corp as soon as you can. We all know the basic one: save money on self-employment tax. Blah blah. Those are basic. Section 179 S corp versus LLC is very basic. If you want to do the real money, you want to play the big boys. It's C corps. Now there are some caveats to C corps because they have 21% corporate tax versus what we're all paying, 37%. But you can make a fuckload more money and save on taxes if you do it right. You're required to W-2 yourself, but all the taxes you pay is 21%. There is no trick here. Instead of 37, you pay 21, but you have to salary yourself. But that's a topic for another day. The point is, guys, the more proper taxes you have and the more tax returns you have, the more valuable you are. So my broker said if I was just in business for 3 years and had 3 years of good tax returns, I could have sold for 2x. 5 years, 2.5, 3x. 10 years, you're getting to the 4x EBITDA. Your company's starting to be more valuable. So, at the end of the day, guys, everything in the dark comes to light. So, when you show up and you're misclassifying employees, your money's all over the place, your books suck, you don't have a CRM, because you have no client list. Guys, taxes is important, because what you report is what you can sell for. Now, this is the fun one, automation. This doesn't inherently make the value of your business go up like more EBITDA. It just makes it more appealing to the buyer. It'll be easier to sell. So everything we spoke about before really truly increases your EBITDA, your multiple of EBITDA. But now let's talk about the fun stuff. 4 bottlenecks. Bottleneck number 1, guys. Lead flow. So lead flow is probably the most difficult one. Would you guys agree? I'm not going to talk too much about it, but we're going to talk about how to turn the bottleneck into not a bottleneck. So if you can automate lead flow, guys, you need to have SOPs for offline marketing, okay? Make sure you have SOPs. Write it on a piece of paper, standard operating procedures. How many yard signs do your employees have to put out? How many door signs? And how many apartment complexes should you or your ops manager be hitting per week on a busy week and on a not busy week? If you're not busy, you should be hitting 50, period. Paid ads. Google, Facebook, Yelp. Talk forever about those, but the point is once you turn Google ads on and they're working right, you should never have to touch them again. It might take like 6 months of getting the campaign perfect, 3 months of getting the campaign perfect, but then it's just cranking the dial. Then the same goes for Facebook ads, guys. And you can set it up with Go High Level and do automations, and you guys can really automate these things. Okay, have online booking, have social media. I know junk team's against VAs for social media, but it worked for me, okay? So, but you can get VAs to scrape mass email, cold calls, send emails, cold email, apartment leads. You can get VAs to do your social media, content marketing. And of course, if you have VAs on the phones, you have standard operating procedures of when because I had 2 agents on the phone, and I had SOPs. When I got an email form lead, they call within seconds. Their inbox is open at all times. They're responding to my Yelp messages. They were nurturing my Facebook leads. You guys can automate lead flow once you get there. I understand it's hard to get Google ads and Facebook ads working perfectly, but you guys can start with all this stuff. Like, seriously.
What's VA stand for?
Virtual assistants, sorry guys, VAs, virtual assistants from the Philippines. We're going to talk about VAs if I have time, because there's a lot, VAs are very, very powerful. People just don't do it right. Bottleneck number 2, software. Guys, if you're not using software, there's so many benefits. You have to use software. You have to have something for everywhere to go, for your employees to look, your VAs to look, field techs, data. We talked about how data is important. We're going to talk more about it. But guys, you store your marketing list. I know somebody, actually I'll just mention his name because he's not ashamed of it. Ricardo Junk Guys from DFW. We all know Ricardo, right? That very colorful character. Colorful guy. But he's been in business for 20 years. Imagine if he had all 30,000 clients that he had in the last 20 years in a database that he could remarket. But he doesn't. You're organized. You have reports, data, key performance indicators, asking for reviews. I know a lot of people think you'll remember, but after 6 months, you're going to get sick of sending that text. Trust me. And then, of course, somewhere for your employees, central location for your employees. You don't want to be texting your employees like, hey man, did you see the job? Like, did you get the update? No, be a little more professional. Anyway, software is a bottleneck, guys. And this is the easiest bottleneck to solve, right? This solves so many problems just using software. Bottleneck number 3, sales and dispatch. This was my favorite one. Once you get off the truck, the next bottleneck you want to do is how do you automate or fix the bottleneck of phones? Because I was living on the phones, guys. There's a couple ways, guys. I know a lot of people are scared of virtual assistants because of the accent. It's because you guys aren't putting enough time in hiring and finding them. You can go through agencies, they're going to charge you 6 to 10 per hour. You can do AI. I know some people are doing AI and all this stuff, but I prefer to talk to a human. Maybe AI will get there soon, but I'm not going to do AI. You can hire them yourself, $4 to $6 an hour, to do anything. And they are very good. You just need to hire right and train right. We'll talk about VAs a little bit later. They handle sales calls. They can handle dispatch. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have enough phone calls and doesn't make sense yet, start with admin and backend and social media, content scraping, mass emailing, cold calling. Okay? So, are you guys learning anything from this? Like, is this helping? Yeah. Okay, just making sure. Okay, so that is bottleneck number 3. Bottleneck number 4, operations. When you solve the top of the funnel, bottleneck number 1, lead flow, and then you get to software, and then you clear bottleneck number 3, sales and dispatch, you are now the last bottleneck. So if you're on the phones all day, it's hard to scale a business if a lot of you guys, some of you might be okay with being smaller, but if you want to scale, eventually you need to replace you. This will be the one that you're in the longest position for, of course. I was still running operations in my business. I got rid of the first 3 bottlenecks, but eventually the goal was to replace me so you can focus on scaling. Imagine if all you had to do was worry about growing and scaling and not answering phone calls and not dealing with social media and where the leads are coming from, and all you can do is worry. Like, don't you think you guys would be able to focus on growing your business and finding, if you want investors, adding more trucks, adding more locations, but you have to clear the first 3 bottlenecks. I was in business for 2 years and 4 months before I sold my company, and I was still in operations. I was going to replace me and go launch new trucks, but I decided I couldn't do it because I can't do this and software at the same time. So, automation, we just covered the 4 bottlenecks of automation. Everything that I just talked about, guys, if you did all that, you would increase the value of your business from 1x to 4x, 5x, okay? And it's a huge value. Do you guys believe if you did all this, it would actually make your business more valuable to you and the buyer? So, to bring it home, let's talk about private equity for a second. These are metrics that private equity firms are going to look at, but private equity only buys businesses that do 5 million EBITDA or more. That's what PE firms come in. That's like the numbers. They'll probably look less, but that is the general number that they look at. But here are some of the numbers that they look at. They have these things called value adders and value subtractors. Let's talk about the value adders first. This is what adds value to your EBITDA. Revenue growth, 900K the first year, 950 the next year. We all understand year-over-year revenue growth. Revenue retention, repeats. This is obviously the hardest one in this business, but I know some of you guys probably have commercial contracts. So try to increase revenue retention, repeats, referrals, commercial contracts. Try to get your revenue retention up. I think in Jedi Junk Removal, I was at 10% repeat referral every month, which is pretty good considering I only ran Google Ads. Margin, we all understand margin. The higher the margin, the better. But it's also kind of funny because the more you scale, the lower the margins. And my favorite, and I know Xavier's favorite, LTV to CAC ratio. Lifetime value to customer acquisition cost. I'm not going to talk about this one, but in simple terms, how much money in? Can I put $1 in and get $10 back? That's printing money at that point. I think in our business, it's 4x is amazing. 4? Okay, so he's going to talk more about that later, but guys, these are what private equity firms look at. Value subtractors, my favorite. Let's start at the bottom. Data risk. This is a value subtractor. You are a data risk. If your books suck, your software sucks, your legal sucks, and your taxes suck, the investor or buyer is going to look at you as a risk. You probably look at yourself as a risk. You're like, shit, my shit's all over the place. That decreases the value of your company. Let's go to the top. Key man risk. This is one of the most important ones. This is the one everybody strives for, is becoming a business owner. Becoming a business owner means you are no longer the key man. You can go on vacation, your business runs itself. This is the biggest factor they look at that increases your EBITDA the most. If you are on operations still, your business needs you to survive, you are a key man risk. You leave, your business dies. So it's not to say you can't sell for 3x. I know 2 junk removal companies who sold at 2x, more than me. I was mad and jealous. I sold at 1x, and I was still a key man risk. If you get to enough trucks, and you're off the truck, and your business runs itself, you can go from 4 EBITDA to 3 EBITDA to 5 to 6. You can probably even go past 5 if you're off the truck. And we talked about operations earlier. So key client risk, guys. Who knows what key client risk is? Can anybody take a guess?
You get hurt.
No.
One major customer.
One major customer, whales. Okay, if you have a whale, if you are surviving 30% of your revenue off one commercial client, you are at key client risk. Fix that. Single channel risk. I was at single channel risk. Who can guess what single channel risk is?
One form of revenue.
One form of revenue. One lead source. One lead source. Google Ads. Bad. Don't do what I did. I lived in LA. I was very aggressive, and I didn't know what I was doing. There's 11 million people in Los Angeles County. Most people probably, I don't know, maybe a lot of people do have single channel risk, but you do not want to be at a single channel risk. Market risk, we're not at a market risk. If you're in the newspaper business, you are. Market risk does not have to do with competition. Buyers are looking into your business for a reason. We are not at a market risk. We can skip that one. So, before we get into VAs, did you go? Wow, okay, I got time left. Because I was talking so fast, I was nervous in the beginning. Okay, guys, did you guys learn anything? Did you guys like that? Yeah. Do you guys want me to dive into virtual assistants? Yeah. Okay, so Guys, this is how you increase the value of your business, okay? This is how you go from selling for $225,000 to $675,000 if I was just did a few things differently and I waited 8 months. But me and my lady, we were like, this software's never gonna freaking get built if I keep, dude, I was a flat tire, I had to go, employee this, like it's always something. You guys know how running the operations of junk businesses. So I couldn't get the software done. That is how you guys increase value of your business. So, I talked a lot about VAs. I thought I'd throw in some bonus slides if I had time. VAs. VAs are game changing, okay? I have convinced a few people to do VAs, and they message me and they go, Andrew, why didn't I listen to you earlier? Does anybody have virtual assistants?
Right here.
Anybody? Only a couple people? Really? Oh, Junk Team's got VAs? Okay, wow, okay guys, I'm gonna change it. If you take anything from this talk, VAs, I promise you. By the way, you get them from onlinejobs.ph. The problem that most people have is they don't treat VAs like a real employee. And that's the problem. They go to online jobs, they post this really crappy ad, and they pick a VA, and they think their life's gonna be solved. Is that how it works when hiring an employee for your truck? No, you try them out for a bit, you interview as many people as you can, you make sure they're not weird, and you train them. Physically, you train them, you show them sales, and then you ride along with them for a while before you set them free, before you set the Julio free. Right? So you train these employees. The same goes with VAs. Guys, you have to post clear ads, and here's another mistake that people make. They go to online jobs and they say, I need somebody who can do admin and back end. I want somebody with no accent who can do phone calls. I want somebody who can edit video. Are you looking for Jesus? Like, they expect a VA to be able to do everything. You have to pick a couple things. Be realistic. Can you edit video? Can you do phone? Point is, guys, be realistic. VAs are specialized. Like, some VAs are really good at editing. Some are really good at content marketing. You need to be specific on your ad, okay? And here's where it gets really hard. When you post an ad, you get hundreds of responses, okay? It gets really hard to go through these ads. It's overwhelming. So what you want to do is automation with Gmail filters, okay? And a Google form. So you can set up a Google form, and when they email that, you tell them to follow a step. They'll follow that step to make sure they're paying attention. And then you set up a Gmail filter that looks for that subject, and it spits them back a Google form, and it goes into a Google Sheet. Okay? So that first step, make sure they're paying attention. So they won't even ever get the Google form if they don't follow the instructions. So then you get this beautiful Google form of all the answers. This is my trick question at the very end, somewhere mixed in there. I tell them, when you get the Google form, say you're 100, so you can see who is not paying attention. We don't want those. And then I tell them to upload a video of themselves talking, what they do, a video of their internet speed, a video, and blah, 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 blah. Any question related to the job. And then you just command click. If you use Windows, I'm sorry, control click. Just kidding, I was on Windows too. But control click, and I open up a whole bunch of tabs. My lady's seeing me at night, just listening to hundreds of interviews. You can crank through like 50 interviews in an hour, and then you interview them, just like you do an employee. And then guess what, guys? You train them. You train them with Loom. Loom is a really great recording software. So you train them how to use your software. You train them how to do social media. You train them how to do whatever it is that you want. Cold calling. And if you're looking for somebody good at phones, make sure you post the ad looking for somebody who's good at sales on phones, and preferably somebody with a little bit less of an accent. A lot of them don't listen. A lot of them are very strong accents, but you will find somebody, I promise. So, guys, VAs. Very, very powerful. And here's the beautiful thing. You can start with the VA for 20 hours a week, part-time, $325 a month. Full-time, $750. I'll give you an example of what my VAs do. So initially, she did go post in 50 groups every week. She added 500 people every day on my Facebook account. That's how I'm at 5,000 friends now. So imagine you have her do that, but to realtors. Go join local groups and add 500 realtors or every day, and then people in local groups, and grow your friend list. And then your Facebook becomes this more powerful asset. I also had her responding to every single review on Google. I had her editing with Canva before and after photos and uploading it to all 4 of my Google Maps locations every day. I had her adding updates to all 4 of my Google Maps locations every day. I have my video editor. I edit video and then my video editor as well. We make cuts. She'd make videos. She'd do all the editing. Then she'd take the videos and she'd upload them to every single platform. If you go back to Jedi Junk Removal's original profiles, you'll see on the Instagram and on the TikTok, that was never me. Those VAs. And my 5,000 friends wasn't me. It was VAs. I got a job from Facebook for 10 grand because of a VA. And then now she responds, or was responding and nurturing all of my Facebook messages, all of my Yelp messages. I stopped using Thumbtack, but that was all VAs. That's just somewhere you can start. Admin and backend. Oh my God, they did my P&Ls at the end of the day. My employees, we use Telegram. They take pictures of the receipts, send them into the Telegram chat. They did my bookkeeping. I'm not kidding. So my employees do the gas receipts and the dump receipts, and whether they go to Home Depot, they send it to Telegram chat. At the end of the day, they had access to my Google Ads account, Yelp, all of it, and they would log my profit and loss every single day. And this cost me $600 a month. Imagine if you can take a lot of the stress and stuff that you're doing off your shoulders and you can focus on higher leverage tasks. That's the point. Stop doing $10 an hour tasks, assign it to a VA, train them properly. You can stop doing $10 an hour tasks and you can focus on hitting 50 apartment complexes every single week. You can focus on networking and stuff that's higher leverage. So people sleep on VAs because they're judgmental and they're scared. And you're sleeping. Trust me, this will change your life. So, scraping. I have a list of every junk removal company in America. Okay? Just gonna go out and say it. You guys are all gonna get an unsolicited email from me soon, okay? No, but jokes aside, guys, you can scrape all of Google Maps, right? Did I put a picture? I put a picture. Okay, so scraping. You can use software, and I'm gonna give you guys the software, and if you guys wanna learn how to do scraping, I'll teach you. But there's 2 scraping software, and what I did is I taught a VA. I recorded a video of me doing scraping, and then at the end of the scraping, I now have 50,000 emails, 50,000 phone numbers. Do not send unsolicited text, though. That will be bad. You can do unsolicited emails. Who cares? So you can scrape all the real estate businesses in your area and make a list of 2,000 realtors. And you can actually do ringless voicemail drops too, or emails. But you can do, what you want to do is get all of the realtors, all of the boutique hotels, all of the storage units, all of the nursing homes and assisted living facilities. And then at the end of the month of scraping, your VA will have scraped 100,000 property managers, apartment complexes, storage units, blah, 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 blah. And you'll have this list of emails, and you can use software to send out these thousands and thousands of emails. And you can send 100 a day, 500 a day. I have my server set up to send out 1,500 emails a day because I am going to scrape every plumber, every HVAC, every home service company there is when our software is ready. And then we're going to send out 2,000 emails a day. This is a standard tactic that even Y Combinator is the Harvard of startups, gives advice on their YouTube channel to do. They are all for cold emailing. So imagine you guys are sending 500 emails a day or 100 on Autopilot. No pun intended. On Autopilot, which our software will do soon. You will be able to send out mass emails and all that stuff and do all these campaigns. We do have mass text in there for only your customers. Anyways, the software to scrape is, you guys ready? Phantom Buster and Outscraper. Those are the 2 most powerful scraping tools. They're not hard to use. I was actually hesitant on telling you guys the tools, but Matt and JoJo, I was like, you know what, if you came to this event, I'll tell you guys the tools. Phantom Buster and Outscraper, powerful. Mass emailing. This is a tricky one. There's Go High Level, but Instantly.ai is the most powerful mass emailing tool. I just switched to it thanks to, I think you introduced me to it, Ivan. And I was like, how did I not know this existed? So I can go on and on about scraping, guys, but you can have your VAs, according to my timer, I have 24 seconds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this presentation. You can scan this if you want. It has all my contact, my personal phone number, my email, my OnlyFans, all that stuff. So, yeah. Just kidding. Anyways, guys, thank you so much.
Just another sunny